Okay, gambling firms have agreed to a live sport TV ads ban coming in 2019. This is massive news. 90 minutes a day during the World Cup in the summer were gambling ads before 9 p.m. So, yeah, if you put up all the football matches per day in the World Cup, so some days there was as many as 4 games a day, 2 on ITV, 2 on BBC, the ITV broadcast will have up to 90 minutes average per day of gambling ads. 60% of the professional clubs in England are sponsored by gambling firms or have a gambling firm as a sponsor. There has been political pressure. Now, I'm going to get to the bottom bit before I go to the middle. There has been political pressure in the last year or so over betting companies and fixed slot betting machines, but also 430,000 people are reportedly have a gambling issue, be it gambling addiction or are problem gamblers, of which 70,000 are 11 to 16 years old and are school-aged kids. That's a big issue. That's where that political pressure has been coming in. That something has to be done. Horse racing will be exempt because, well, without the gambling industry, horse racing wouldn't exist anymore. Um, there are other issues with horse racing, but that's the sport that will be exempt. Now, the RGA, the Remote Gambling Association, got all its members to agree to this voluntary ban. It was a unanimous agreement within the trade association to go, okay, we have a problem here. There is outside pressures from pressure groups and Parliament to change the way we present ourselves. The amount of players with gambling problems is a concern. We've seen in snooker match fixing and players getting banned for match fixing to do with illegal betting. And Daniel Sturridge is currently under investigation right now. Joey Barton has been banned for 18 months from football for gambling offences. Stuart Bingham was done as a snooker player. So high-profile sportsmen and women have fallen afoul of gambling rules. There are strict gambling rules in place that keep getting breached, and there are many high-profile sportsmen with a gambling problem, not just here in the UK, but around the world. This is odd, though, that they decided to go with this gambling firm to agree to a live sport ban, because in the US, 2 months ago, they legalised it across every single state. So the UK is getting a bit tougher on gambling regulations. The US has relaxed its gambling regulations and laws. But 90 minutes a day during World Cup before 9 p.m. gambling ads is insanity. We've seen this argument as well. We've seen these TV bans with tobacco firms and in some cases alcohol firms in France. The tobacco firms are still making billions of dollars a day. The alcohol firms are still making billions of dollars a day. I think this was a move that was long overdue. But the fact that there are nearly 500,000 people, including 70,000 11 to 16-year-olds with gambling problems or at risk, says there is an issue. If 3% of the country is deemed to be at risk of a gambling addiction, that is something savage. I have noticed some sports are less reliant on gambling advertising than others. Apart from horse racing, you take that out of it, football is heavily reliant on shirt sponsorship or having a secondary sponsor that is a gambling firm. So, as we're seeing this TV ads ban during live sport before and after as well, there's going to be 90 minutes before a game and 90 minutes after a game as well, and during the game. Could shirt sponsorship and club sponsorship be the next thing of that is targeted, and tournament sponsorship? Could that be the next thing to go? Could there be a gambling sports ban when it comes to advertising? But the Remote Gambling Association has agreed there is a negative connotation with what they're doing. You know, gambling is heavily regulated in this country, and they've actually voluntarily agreed. You know, we can't continue like this. The negative press that the industry is getting is damaging the industry's image. And I'm not against gambling. I will have occasionally have a flutter on the horse racing. I will. And horse racing would have not survived if it wasn't for Coral and Ladbrokes and Bet365 sponsoring events and trainers and jockeys. Horse racing does need to find a way to survive. The British Horse Racing Association needs to find a way for the sport to survive without gambling sponsorship, but they're exempt for now. But every other sport is going to, I think, have, when their broadcasts are on live, no gambling ads. And some sports are more reliant on gambling advertising revenue than others. I notice motorsport and ice hockey don't really have a lot of gambling sponsors sponsoring them. Although with the legalisation of gambling laws across and the relaxation of gambling laws across the US, the NHL and NFL, yeah, you will see MGM resorts, you will see so and so casino. You are starting to notice a little bit more, but they're more the high end casino hotels, not actual William Hill, Coral, online gambling. It's more actually you go in and you have a flutter on blackjack. But that is starting to creep into US sports, so maybe they will come to this later on. But there we go. Gambling firms have agreed to a live sport TV ads ban. And what will happen from there, God knows. They might ban gambling ads before 9 p.m. Alcohol ads are restricted now before 9 p.m. There's less alcohol ads before the watershed. Tobacco advertising is gone. This is another vice that may have more TV and internet restrictions put against it. What I have noticed though about YouTube is if it's more of a sports-based YouTuber, like when I was monetized, or other channels that I follow, like the hockey guy, I have seen gambling ads pop up, and I could be watching at lunchtime. So the internet advertising isn't affected by this TV ads ban. Sports channels and sports content. This only covers TV in the UK. This doesn't cover the internet. So you can still live stream a sporting events legally or otherwise, and gambling ads will pop up. So there's still a long way to go for this to be a solid set in stone, but they're expecting early 2019. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, place your comments below, and I'll have some more videos for you soon.